Hi folks, got another Craig's hack here for you for Tableau. Today I've been looking at some Melbourne Cup statistics. Melbourne Cup is a horse race that happens once a year here in Australia. It stops the nation, so they say. It's coming up pretty soon. I've been grabbing some statistics to see if I can get a profile of a winning horse. So what I thought I'd show you today was how I got this data and what I did with it. So first of all, the data. So where did I get this from? Found a couple of spots here where I've got some Melbourne Cup history. This particular data source is pretty thin, but it's deep. It goes all the way back to 1861. I've got another data source here. There's a little bit more to it, but it only goes back to 1983. So I wanted to grab both of those. This is a tabular form already. I could have, and did in fact, put that into Excel and try and get Tableau to directly connect to it. There's quite a lot of problems with pulling that data in directly to Tableau via Excel. There's quite a lot of parsing that needs to be done, and Excel doesn't really deal very well with copying and pasting things and keeping them in date formats and these particular things. It tries to turn them into formulas or dates even. So what can we do about that? So I've got a tool named Alteryx that I use to pull together and cleanse data before I feed it to Tableau. And Alteryx can actually tap into the behind the scenes part of a web page, grab all of this data and bring it all in and turn it into a table. But sometimes that can be quite tough when you've got data that looks like this. And what I found is an even easier way. It's using a tool called import.io, and it's got a magic web connector. Let's bring that up and show you. So this actually extracts data from the web page, and like it says, just like magic. So let me show you how I use that, and then how I use the API that is in import.io to grab that from Alteryx. So let's start this magic. We can paste the URL of the website that we're looking to grab data from, and we can extract the data. You can see import.io's grabbed all that tabular data and brought it in as a table, and now we can actually do another couple of steps where we can turn it into an API. So you can see it's created an API for me now for this data, and now I'm able to export that to an API. And there you go, there's the text that I need, and we'll do is I'll copy and paste that, and keeping in mind that data there is one of the key numbers that I need, and then there's an API key that we also need in Alteryx. Let me show you how that one works. So Interworks have put together a web data into Alteryx via import.io connector. Works really well. Thank you very much, Interworks, and in particular it was Michael Treadwell. So this particular tool is downloadable from their website, and it gives you some good instructions on how to use it. So I'll show you how I've used that in this particular case. There's the macro, and allows you to import your API key. And in this case, I've actually used the connector ID and a piece of string text here that actually allows you to put the URL of the website in. And what that does is pulls the data in one big row, and after you pass it, it's a JSON file. After you pass it, it turns into lots and lots of rows, and then you need to do a few more steps here, cross tab it back together again, and use the power of Alteryx to add in a whole bunch of extra things to make the data more Tableau friendly. and voila, you've ended up with some data that looks very much like the original data we started on the website, but much cleaner and ready to be pushed into a database. So I've joined this data up here with the other website with the 100 plus years of history, and joined that all together and unioned it where it needed to, and pushed it into a Melbourne Cup history data source. So once we bring that data into Tableau as a data source, we can have a look at the results and do a bit of analysis. So if we wanted to have a look at the colours, and we wanted to have a look at the number of winners, and we wanted to sort descending, we can see that the bays are the most popular. If we want to have a look at what that is as percentage, we just put that in the label. So we can see that almost half of the horses that have won since 1983 anyway have been colour of bay, and we can also do things like let's see how the barrier works. So we can go grab the barrier as a row, sorry, as a column, and we'll do the number of winners to make it like a histogram. So we can see there that barrier 11 seems to be the most popular barrier to win by, with 12% of horses winning from barrier 11. And we can do some colouring by percentages to give you a bit more insight there. So we've got a blue to red scale there, and we can do all sorts of tricky stuff with other measures. One of the other interesting ones was with horse number. So let's see what the most popular horse number is that wins since 83. You can see horse number 6 seems to be the way to go. So that all comes together quite nicely into a winner's history dashboard, which we can put quite a lot of measures onto one desktop view. And what I've managed to do is use the device manager to pop that into a tablet friendly mode, and even a phone friendly mode, where we've laid that all out underneath each other in a scrolling region. So I've published that up to Tableau Public, and I'm about to put that together into a blog. So get on there, download it by all means, and enjoy. And best of luck on your punting next Tuesday.